This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago. Welcome to Chicago.
This is Chicago. Doors open on the left at Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago.
Welcome to Chicago. You tune in to the TCSF podcast with Big Z in the house. This week we've got JC Dynasty Fantasy Football, and we are coming straight to you from the 606 Media Studios, powered by True Chicago Sports Fans. This is episode 271, Big Bear Letdown, and we're fired up to dive into everything that makes Chicago great, which is our Chicago sports teams. Remember, 606 Media is your ultimate source for all things Chicago. Don't forget swing by 606media.com to snag your official TCSF podcast t-shirt, or check out our exclusive For the Love of Sports merchandise line. Show off your Chicago pride. And if you're at one of the remotes that we're at, we've been at Output Lounge in Berwyn for the past 3 weeks. Now we're moving on. We got one more week there, and then we're moving on to another location. We have exclusive merchandise done by JC himself. So come and check this out. We've got rock glasses, shot glasses, pint glasses. We got bottle openers. We've got glasses cleaners. We got shirts. We got hats. We got lots of stuff that's just exclusive to the remotes. So come and buy some merch at the table when you're out visiting us. Again, if you're watching on Facebook, we got YouTube, we got Twitch.
Smash.
That's right. Smash and subscribe. Hit that, smash that button. And if you're listening on your favorite podcast app, please leave us a 5-star review. It means the world to us. Again, I check the comments on YouTube. I know JC gets involved as well when it comes to the Facebook. We got Serge is taking care of the Twitter. So you'll get one of us if you're looking at social media. So definitely reach out and get interactive with us. If you're looking for more ways to get involved, support the show with a monthly subscription at anchor.fm / True Chicago Sports Fans. As little as 99 cents gets the conversation going. Again, while you're with us at 66 Media, you have Intoxicated with Big Z, another podcast where we dive into deep, fascinating stories, engaging discussions, and insightful interviews, and plenty of humor. We have done a one weekend with Steven and Sean, and as he's noticed that Steven is not on the show today because it was his birthday this past Saturday, and he lost his little voice, little baby voice. Yeah.
Wah.
Wah. He's not even watching. Well, what a P. So check out that. I don't even know if they've recorded an episode because he was, let's say, on a happy juice. That my lord. So let's strap in and get ready for an unforgettable ride through the best of Chicago sports culture and beyond. So let's get started with our Chicago football team. I got my sounder right here. Come on. We got 3 up and 3 down. Right. Yeah. There we go.
I think I'll put that.
Oh, that's the baseball one. Yeah, boom, baby, boom. We definitely want to blow this one up. Chicago Bears drop their game to the Ravens. It was not a pretty one, 16-30. You're looking at the scoring at 6 points in the first quarter, and we'll start there. JC, how do we get off switching from getting field goals to switching them over to touchdowns?
As of right now, that's a hard call to make. We are struggling, and it is not looking very good for us at all. Caleb, he had a couple very good weeks there. Week, what was it, 2, 3, 4, and then we went on bye week, and all of a sudden we can't score anything in the red zone. Those couple weeks there, we were actually one of the top teams for scoring in the red zone. Now all of a sudden we can't score for the life of us. How we fix that, I don't know. With 11 penalties, I don't even know how you get in the red zone.
Yeah, I think we're second with offensive penalties as far false starts. We might be first by the end tonight.
Yeah.
Bad.
Well, I mean, it's pretty pathetic. I mean, I know, Thuney had his first false start. You know what? The guy's been
Whatever.
absolutely phenomenal. Can't blame him, right? But like Colson Loveland has been an issue for whatever reason. He constantly, at least once, twice a game, is getting, offsides and or false start calls. Hey, you were a first round pick, dude, and you played for a long time with the college team you were on, right? So there's no excuses. Like you should be able to stay on sides, and you should be able to know when the ball is snapped, because you know what? Sometimes, yeah, wide receivers, when they're far out wide, they don't see when the ball gets snapped. They're going off of, the cadence and everything else. You know what? Loveland and Komet, they've been tight to the line where you have visual of when the ball is snapped. All right.
Right.
I don't know what else to tell you. That is a mistake that should not be happening game after game after game after game. Right. And the Bears coaching staff, look, I don't know how you fix it, whether or not the guy's got to run laps, whether he's got to do suicides, whether he's got to do up downs.
You take away playing time.
Well, the problem is Cole Komet's hurt. And that's why Loveland is getting even more playing time than usual. However, it doesn't take away the fact that, you know what, these are mistakes that you should not have even made in college, and now you're a pro and a first-round draft pick in the top 10 to boot. And you are still making stupid bonehead mistakes that should not be happening.
It definitely should not be happening. I know we had Loveland with another penalty in the red zone. They were able to Caleb was able to overcome it, which was great. But again, scoring 6 points in the first quarter that should have been 14. Actually, it was a very big surprise for me when I looked at the injury report 90 minutes before the game and see that Cairo Santos was back starting. I thought you should have gave him another week. Maybe 2 weeks more than that, because it was a leg and a groin that can really act up very quickly, especially for a kicker, because it's all lower body. Moody was doing just fine. He has a bigger leg. I thought he had confidence, especially even hitting that game winner for us. Reward the kid. So that was a big surprise there. But you're looking at the numbers. Caleb Williams, 25 for 38, 285, 1 interception. On paper, it looks great. 285 yards looks amazing. The one thing is that interception is where he's staring down his receivers, especially Roma Dunze, because that's where he goes to when he's in trouble. That he goes to his number one guy, right? The guy who has the biggest relationship with, his biggest chemistry with. That's who he's going to, and defenses know that. They know that's his favorite target. So you're gonna have, old Dunze getting double covered, or you'll have a spy on him, or the safety just hanging around there just in case. And that's exactly what ended up happening. They undercut that route because they know where he's going to go. Run game was something we talked about in the pregame halftime, where we said we have to run the ball, and we didn't ask for 200 yards, but 110, 120, maybe 150 combined between Swift and Monangai, and that didn't happen. There was almost 70 yards between the two, 69 yards. Caleb Williams with 24 himself with 3 carries. Monangai 7 for 24. Swift 11 for 45 with a touchdown. That is it.
The run game. We've had 2 weeks of a great, fantastic run game, and then you turn around this week and kind of a little bit of a disaster from the run game. And look, you can't rely on the run game every single week. However, the problem is that, yes, when you look at the statistics of what Caleb did over the weekend, the statistics will tell you that 285 yards, he had a semi-decent game. Right. But when you go back and watch the game, the timing isn't there. The accuracy is not there.
Right.
His feet are a mess. He is throwing the ball off platform, like any which way. And he has no footwork to like speak of at all. You know, I can't stress this enough. Like, I can't tell you, like, at least 2 to 3 times a game, I watch him standing, you know, in a, instead of his left shoulder leading forward and like in a like throwing position, he's standing like facing the line, like moving backwards and throwing the ball. And it's like, dude, why are you not dropping back in with your left shoulder forward, with your feet, left foot forward, right foot behind, like where you can drop and move? Like it's one of those, like he's standing like a running back in the backfield.
Yeah, a lot of it is where you see he looks like he's playing backyard football, where he's throwing, relying on his arm and his talent rather than using the fundamentals to get him to where he needs to get to. And a lot of the time, especially on that interception, he had DeAndre Swift on the flat and could have got 7 yards, but instead he wanted to force it. And we seen what happens when he forces the ball. He did make a couple bit better decisions with seeing the green in front of him and saying, you know what, I'm going to run. On one of those big runs, he could have just, especially that was towards the end of the game, he could have slid out, ran out of bounds instead of sliding inbounds. That would have saved the timeout, which would have helped Cairo Santos, maybe even got a couple more yards to get him a little closer because he doesn't have the leg. But yeah, there's a lot of decision making that's very questionable against Caleb Williams. And I know he comes out in the post game conference and is like, I was making the right throws, making the right reads, and then when he watches the film, whether he watched it today or he's going to watch it tomorrow, he's going to see that he left a lot of opportunities again, with the running back being in the flat, or even Loveland right over the middle, wide open, or everybody. DJ Moore is open a lot, and that one. It was like almost like a Hail Mary where he just threw it up and DJ Moore made a spectacular catch, one-handed catch, and got us down the field. But other than that, DJ, he has 4 for 73. Rome Odunze 7 for 114. Again, on paper, Rome Odunze looked like he had a great game. But in reality, no. It really wasn't that. Loveland had 3 for 38. They went to Loveland for the first play in the beginning of the game, and then after that, 2 more times. That's unacceptable. I want him throwing way more to the tight end because it's going to get, if you start throwing it right between the hash marks where he's going to sit or in a crossing route or whatever, you've got to be using that tight end more. Maybe he's been using more pass protection because we don't have Cole Kmet. But at the same time, man, every NFL team uses that tight end a lot more than 3 receptions. So I don't know. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I just keep going back to like the stats tell you one thing, right? Like he was 25 of 38 for 285 yards, 65% completion rating, right? Like the stats will tell you one thing, but when you physically watch the game,
yeah,
his footwork, his fundamentals, the way he takes a snap, the way he drops back, like everything about his fundamentals are like terribly wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the criticisms of him coming out of USC was that yes, he is a backyard football player. He makes off script plays, right? Like that is what he is known for and everything else. But guess what? In Ben Johnson's system, you need a Jared Goff that is going to make the plays in rhythm, make the proper decisions, and get the ball to the playmakers so that they can do their job.
It feels for me, it feels like he's big gain hunting. I'm trying to get the biggest gain available. And it doesn't have to be that. Get it to the wide open receiver or your running back in the flat or your tight end over the middle. Get to 5-7 yards. Let your player get the yak, and you don't have to work as hard, and the chain continues to move down the line. So I agree with you.
Yeah, and look, I'm not trying to call him Justin Fields 2.0, but you know what?
We posted that.
I'm not calling him that. He is a talent. He can read a
No, he's not there
defense, but you can tell like the first quarter, like scripted plays, he was killing it.
Yeah.
As soon as the scripted plays end, all of a sudden things go awry and he's falling apart. So I need him to be better. And I understand, you know what? Hey, last year you had multiple coordinators, you had a terrible offensive line, you had all these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
But now, look, the offensive line still has some issues. I understand that. But the bottom line is the offensive line is giving you the time to do your job. And the bottom line is you are not getting the ball out fast enough to the playmakers in rhythm to give them success. He is like waiting for the window to open and then throw the ball. And that's not how the NFL works. You need to throw the ball before the window opens. And then once the window is open, the ball needs to be there in rhythm.
He did that in the first quarter where he was throwing to the window and guys were catching they're making a reception in motion and not having to stop or go back in their route. So he did a little bit of that. Did he continue to do it? No. Also, Ben Johnson did not continue to run the ball after the first quarter. You go away from running the ball. You weren't down. Even if you were down 10-6, which is ended up being what the halftime score was, you're one.
Well, I don't blame Ben Johnson because let's be honest. You know what? Swift is not a power back, right? He is not going to punish the defense and run into guys like a Marshawn Lynch or some of these bigger backs. He is not a punisher. So
Monangai
is 5'9". He is not a punisher either. He tries the best that he can, but he is not somebody that is scaring the defense and wearing them out. Okay.
He's not that, but here's the other thing. I know we had Swift, he had a leg injury throughout the whole week at practice. That might be one of the reasons he didn't get that many touches. Maybe he's playing hurt. Let's just call a spade, right? So that might be part of the issue. He was on the injury report all week with a leg injury. And if you're looking at, maybe he still doesn't trust Monangai to take a bigger load as far as the running game. So, and you're right. He's not going to scare defense. They're not going to plan against him because he's a game changer. But at the same time, you've got to use what you have and to the best ability. And if he's not trusting these guys, then we have a bigger mess to address than that.
Oh, we definitely do. And we're going to have to address that in the offseason in the draft because the bottom line is we do not have a power back that you can trust in short yardage or you're going to hand the ball off. They are going to punish the defense play after play after play until like the defense is so worn out that we're going to gain 4 or 5 yards of run. That is not Swift's game. Swift's game is get out there in space and then try and make a cut or two and, hit a home run. Like that is Swift's game. But he can get tackled by somebody touching his shoelaces. Okay. He is not the guy to sit there and run it down your throat. That is not his game.
Okay.
And, the bottom line is, we're looking at this roster and, we now have, just to go into some of the injury stuff, right? We lost Turner this week at defensive tackle. He was our second round pick, I believe, in the offseason.
I believe he was a first round pick. No.
Shamar Turner? No.
Yes, you're right. Second round pick. Yep. That's what I had.
So we took Shamar Turner. He is now out with a knee injury. We then signed Grady Jarrett, who, from what I'm hearing, may have a chronic knee injury that, obviously the medical team, missed and or, it won't be that big of an issue. Well, we're paying him roughly, I think, let's see, he's due 7 or 9 million this year. Next year, he's due guaranteed salary 13 million, cap number 19 million next year.
Yeah.
So for a guy who has played, I think, 2 games or 3 games this year and has been hurt the rest of the time, and his dead cap, if we cut him next year, is 21 million. So we're not cutting him.
Nope.
So we are stuck with Grady Jarrett next year. All right. Then you go back and you look at, all right, we signed Thuney, we signed Jonah Jackson. Jonah Jackson has not been that great. He has not been fantastic. His PFF grades have been not very good this year. Ranked 34th, 32nd, 24th, 69th. So again, offensive snaps played, he's ranked 34th best. Guard 32nd in pass block. So basically, like, you're barely a starter for a team at 32nd best. He hasn't really allowed any sacks or anything like that, but he has a ton of penalties. It's a lot of money to be paying guys and not have them pan out right now. I'm trying to get to, let's see, Jonah Jackson. Yep, not till 2027 can we get rid of him. We're on the hook for 14.7 this year, 17 million next year, and then we might be able to cut him.
No.
And then my favorite, which I sent you in the group chat, our edge rusher that we signed in the offseason to massive money, Mr. Deo Odebayingo. Let's see. We're paying him $8 million this year, $20.5 million next year, with a dead cap of 22 million. So he's not going anywhere next year either. We'll be able to cut him in 2027. So basically, Ryan Poles, you have shot yourself in the foot by signing terrible fucking free agents constantly. I'll pull it up on my cell phone here. Let's pull it up. Because I sent it to you in the group chat.
Oh, his numbers.
Deo's numbers so far this year, 0.3 tackle for loss per game. So he's not even really averaging 1 tackle for loss a game.
And that might be a half. A half a tackle for loss, the group tackles.
Yeah. And like 1 sack for the season, 7 hurries, which is 73rd in the NFL, and 9 total pressures, 85th in the NFL. So you realize, there's 2 edge rushers per team. There's 32 teams. You're not even a starting edge rusher in the way of statistics right now. You are 85th. You are worse than backups on another team.
That's bad. That's so bad.
And we are paying this man $20.5 million. I'm sorry. Ryan Poles, I am through with you. It's time to go.
But the thing is that he and Ben Johnson are on the same timeline now.
I don't care.
Well,
I do not care whatsoever. Hey, Ben, who do you want? Who do you want us to bring in? Who do you have an agreement with? Who do you like? There has to be someone from the Lions that Ben Johnson got along with in the way of picking talent, etc.
No, that's got to be Kevin Warren.
How about the Ravens? There are so many other teams that there are GMs that I would rather have than frickin' Poles right now.
I agree that the GM is horrible. I agree. Every GM in Chicago has been horrible the last couple of years. Maybe with the exception of the Blackhawks and with the White Sox, but he's got almost about a year in right now. So the word is still out on Chris Getz. But if you're looking at the Bears, it's got to be done by Kevin Warren. It's got to be done. I hate that backwards mentality that we had where we we have the coach hire the GM who then is stuck with a quarterback that they don't want. Like, we've been through that carousel. It does not work out. So if you're going to hire a GM, you look at the successful organizations. You look at Kansas City. You look at San Francisco. You look at what Denver's done with their draft. You look at don't look at Carolina. Look at what New England has done this past year or this past 2 years. Look at those up and coming teams who have done great with their draft. Yes, they might have drafted a quarterback, but look at what else they've drafted to supplement that quarterback. Drake May is top 3 in MVP voting right now. He was garbage last year.
Wait. What draft did Drake May come out in?
The same one with Caleb Williams.
Oh my goodness. What draft did Jaden Daniels come out in?
Same one with Caleb Williams.
What draft did Drake May or the guy in Denver?
Bonix.
What draft did he come out in?
Same draft as Caleb Williams.
Did we do our due diligence?
No. He didn't bring in Jaden Daniels for a workout.
No, I heard through the grapevine, and someone said that Jaden Daniels turned down the workout. That they did invite him, but he turned it down. You know what? That tells you everything you need to know. That Jaden Daniels knew that it was a dog and pony show. You had no interest in him whatsoever. That you were so focused on Caleb Williams that you wouldn't even bring in or be serious
about his dad and him saying that he doesn't want to come to the Bears. That if they draft him, that he's going to want to be traded. Remember all that hoopla that was going on? Maybe there was some truth to that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, look, the bottom line is you can sit here and tell me Poles is hitched to Ben Johnson and everything else. You know what? Ben Johnson looks like he is a head coach.
Yes.
Like they got that right. They actually got us a head coach. But the bottom line is the roster that this guy is putting together, whether it be Chase Claypool or Ryan or Bates, or how many offensive linemen did we trade for last year that were freaking dog shit? And we sit here and every year somehow Poles wins the freaking offseason. But yet our team is dog shit. We haven't had a Pro Bowler in I don't know how many years now, and no freaking all pros. We haven't done shit in like 5 years.
Nope. It might have been Trubisky.
Don't give me this shit that Poles is a good freaking GM. I'm over him.
I think everybody's on accordance with that. He's never been a good GM, especially the way he's been handling the draft picks and drafting. And trades have been just horrible. Key takeaways: the defense remains pretty strong, even though that secondary is really banged up. The offense and coaching needs to be better going forward, especially the offense. And I think when I say coaching, I'm talking about the penalties pre-snap. That's got to be cleaned up once and for all as the Bears look to go next week versus a formidable opponent who I know why they lost. I mean, to Justin Fields, it was by 1 point. They lost 39-38 to the Jets, which was their first win, which was a whole nother ball of wax there. But you're looking at a team that's 3-5, pretty much exactly how you guys are, 4-3. You're looking at old man Joe Flacco, who's going to be throwing to Jamar Chase, Chase Brown, T. Higgins. They got Noah Fant as their tight end. They also got Thomas
Brooks. What the difference is that Joe Flacco right now has the shortest time to delivering the football to his playmakers.
Yeah.
He is getting the ball out of his hand like Tom Brady-esque.
Yes.
Like he is getting the ball out of his hands to his playmakers extremely quickly, which for the Cincinnati Bengals, this is something that Joe Burrow needs to be watching and saying, oh, I don't need to be taking sacks like I take. I could be doing exactly what Joe Flacco is doing, getting the ball out of my hands, getting it to my playmakers, and letting them do their job.
Yeah.
And then Caleb, who is going to see it firsthand over the weekend, needs to also take notice and do what Joe Flacco does and start getting the ball to his playmakers faster.
Yeah. 12 receptions by Jamar Chase. I don't know how much targets he got. Maybe 15.
I believe he had 16.
There you go. I was close. 91 yards, 7.6 average. Didn't get a touchdown. It went to T. Higgins and went to Chase Brown. But that ball was spread around, but your number one guy got the ball. And we have our number one guy, Roma Dunze. Let's just put it that way. It's not DJ Moore. Let's be honest.
We have multiple guys who could be number ones.
Next year, there's going to be multiple guys that are number one, and it's not going to be DJ Moore. It's not. And at this point, you should be, are we contending for a wild card spot? Time will tell. I don't think so. Not the way we're playing, not the way this offense isn't scoring touchdowns. So don't be expecting that.
Take a look here. DJ Moore. I mean, DJ Moore to a team can get out of his deal in 2027. He is due $28.5 million next year, $28.5 million 2027, $28.5 million 2028. So
unless it's a team that loses the number one wide receiver and is going for a Super Bowl and is on track to go,
that's going to be a large salary cap to move and for a team to be able to take on. And most of your playoff teams, New England maybe, could definitely absorb something like that. I'm trying to think of any other teams.
Maybe Denver.
Denver, I mean, they have Cortland Sutton. Could they use a second wide receiver? Yes. Like again, looking at Chargers, no. Kansas City, I don't think they can make the money work in Kansas City. San Diego has Quentin Johnson, our guy from last year, Keenan Allen, and Lad McConkey. So I don't see them doing it. Buffalo, Houston, San Francisco could definitely use a wide receiver.
They're always injured.
Miami losing Tyreek Hill. I mean, Atlanta. I mean, there's a lot of teams that need wide receiver, but it's can they afford to take on the salary? And that I don't see many teams being able to. The New York Giants might be able to take on the salary.
Well, they're going to need
because they have some lower salary cap, with quarterback situation, etc. But all
right, Jason, give me your predictions. Give me your predictions for next week's Bengals, Bears, and I believe that's at Cincinnati. So,
I think we get absolutely dog walked. It's going to be like 34-13. I mean, let's be honest. Even with Joe Flacco, the quarterback play is going to be so much better than us, and our defense is just absolutely depleted. We're down Jalen Johnson. We're down Grady Jarrett. We're down Shamar Turner. Like our defense, especially in the secondary, no Kyle, no Gordon, like we're just depleted. There's only so much the defense can do when the offense is not putting points on the board. I understand that, the past couple weeks we've had 3-4 interception over games. But at the end all be all, we've talked about, we are not capitalizing and putting the points on the board from those turnovers. Kicking 3 field goals, that's 9 points. That's not a touchdown, which is 7 points, right? Yeah. It's just not going to be good enough. Beating teams by 1 point is not going to get it done when you have 4 turnovers.
Yeah, I seen a loss. I'm gonna wait to give my numbers as far as what I think it's going to be till pregame. But because I got to look at the injury report. But it's going to be, like you said, a dog walk. I think Cincinnati's going to be just feeding Jamar Chase and just feeding him until you can stop him, which they're not going to be able to. So you'll see just maybe he gets 15 catches for like 250 yards. I don't know.
I will say this. I mean, look, our cornerbacks that are playing right now, especially with Jalen Johnson being out, I mean, they're playing pretty dang well for guys who are, like I said, late round picks and or pickups off the street, 5th round picks, etc.
Mhm.
Right? Nathan Wright has been fantastic this year. Stevenson had a rough going at the beginning of the year. I think he's done a little better recently.
He's out.
But it's one of those where without Jalen Johnson, without Gordon, Brisker is, one more tackle away from being out with a concussion. He has consistent concussion issues. That could really hurt us. And basically that's where I'm at is just, I don't know what to say. Coming into the season, I had high hopes, which, I mean, let's be honest, Bears fans, we have high hopes every start of the season.
Yeah.
But, I said, honestly, if we were a 7 to 8 win team,
10 at max.
I would be a happy man, right? We're sitting at, I think, 4 wins right now.
Yeah, 4 and 3.
I mean, but we're getting ready to go into the worst part of our season here in the upcoming weeks.
You don't see a lot of wins on this schedule.
No. We do not. And
maybe the Vikings, because they looked really, really bad against the last couple weeks against their opponents.
Well, Carson Wentz is going to play on.
Yeah, I know. He's on my I've been playing with backup quarterbacks. I know he's out.
So they're going to have to start the young man, JJ McCarthy, and we'll see what he's got. You know what? He had enough to come back and beat us once. And
again, it's at the Vikings, so that's going to be what's going to make it tough playing them. But again, the Bengals, Joe Flacco is going to be able to diagnose and just like a surgeon, just slice up the defense for the Bears, in my opinion. The Giants have been playing good, even though Scotty Boo's out for the year with that horrific broken ankle. And who else? I don't know what else happened to it. I know it's for sure. I saw it was a broken ankle. I think I sent that to you, JC, where the guy broke it down. I was at
the ankle injury.
Yeah, on Instagram, I sent it to you.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely a dislocated ankle. He already had surgery. Scatabo had surgery, is out of surgery. Supposedly it was successful, and he is already thanking everybody on Twitter, X, Instagram, for all their best wishes and everything. So Scatabo will be back next year, but he is done for this season. They said he'll already be starting rehab like next week. So, but yeah, I'm literally just looking at our schedule. It's Bengals, Giants, which, I mean, the Giants have been putting up 30 points a game roughly.
Yeah.
Vikings have been, a shell of themselves, but could they beat the Bears? Yes. Yeah. Steelers. Aaron Rodgers owns us.
Yeah. Moving on.
Eagles. Like, even if half their team was gone, I think they could beat us. The Packers have looked horrible this season, but they keep winning.
Yeah.
The Cleveland Browns, we might have a chance with the Cleveland Browns.
Yep. There you go.
And then we go back to the Packers.
Another loss.
The 49ers, hopefully, by the time we face them, they'll be healthy.
I think McCaffrey will be out by then because they'll be hurt. McCaffrey's hurt every year. That's 2 wins for me. And then the Lions, I think that's a win. So they end with a 3-game winning streak, in my opinion.
I don't see us beating the Lions.
You know why? Because they may have secured their playoffs at that point already.
True.
So
however, I think their backups are good enough to beat us even by the end of the season. If we take loss, win, loss. Again, I think the 49ers could potentially be a loss if they get back some of their wide receivers like Ricky Pearsall and I am blanking on the other wide receiver who has yet to play this season.
He came over from the
No, he was there. He had a ACL last year,
okay.
and he has yet to play this year yet. If he comes, he'll be back by December 28th.
Are you talking about Jawan Jennings? No.
No.
You're talking. I mean, they have the
He's
Marcus.
on my brother's fantasy team, and I just am completely blanking on it because
Sky Moore.
No.
Kendrick Bourne. What else
Nope.
do they have? Kendrick Bourne. Nope. They don't have many wide receivers, bro.
I'm looking it up. Give me 1 second.
They don't have. No. They don't have a lot there. They have Jawan Jennings.
Brandon Ayuk.
Oh, Brandon Ayuk. Oh my God.
Yeah, he has not played this year yet.
It's not even on the main page right here.
Yeah. So like I said, if Ayuk comes back from injury, I think 49ers could potentially beat us because even if McCaffrey goes down, guess what? They traded for Brian Robinson. Something the Bears didn't do. So and like I said, the Lions, I just feel like by that time of the season, the Bears will be so defeated and and again, I hope we can keep our guys, morally whatever, but I think even the backups of the Lions could beat us potentially that late in the season because the Bears will just be so defeated that they'll just be ready for next year.
So you have 6 losses in a row. So that'll put us at 4-9. A win against the Browns, that's 5-10.
I think the Vikings could be a win and the Browns, but I think that would be about it.
Okay.
Steelers, the Steelers have not played all that well. If the Steelers could get a wide receiver, I think they could be better. But like I said, they really don't have any playmakers on the Steelers that are game changers.
He's called Aaron Rodgers.
Well, maybe the Steelers could use DJ Moore.
Yeah, they could.
Let's
not go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
JC, let's take a break. On the flip side, we do the Madhouse on Madison report. We'll talk about our Bulls and our Bears and a surprise report on a playoff team. So we'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Hey there, Chicago enthusiasts. Are you ready to take your fandom to the next level? The True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast has got you covered with some serious cool merch that screams Chicago pride. From cozy sweaters to trendy tank tops, we got it all. Show off your love for the city with our iconic red, white, and blue logo, or stand out with our exclusive collection for the love of sports. Whether you're lounging at home, breaking a sweat at the gym, or cheering on your team at a game, our gear is a must-have for all you diehard Chicago sports fans out there. Don't hesitate. Visit bonfire.com/store/606-media-store/ or simply just click the link in the description and snag your gear ASAP. Get ready to make some noise, show your pride, and embrace the Chicago spirit with True Chicago Sports Fan Podcast merch. Designed for you, the ultimate fan, for the love of sports. Hey guys, it's Steven.
And this is Sean, and you are listening to True Chicago Sports Fans.
Don't forget to listen to No War on the Weekend. New episodes on Monday. You can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts.
Yeah, so we're going to go do a couple of shots. So let's kick it back over to Big Z.
Water on the weekend.
To True Chicago Sports Fans, and we got JC Dynasty Fangs Football in the house, and it is time for our Madhouse on Madison report. Do I have a sounder for the Bulls? I think we do. It's been so long. Yeah, we do. We can play with it. Can't play too much of this because of YouTube. You want to get flagged by Big Papa there. The Chicago Bulls, who are playing right now, I got the score on my phone going. What are we at? We've come back. It's halftime. They're at the UC. They're down 1 point to the Atlanta Hawks, 57-58. They're 2-0 in the season. At one point, we had every team that's playing right now, which is the Blackhawks, the Bulls, and the Bears, with a winning record. So we're looking at the Chicago Bulls, and they're playing pretty good team ball. They don't have anybody who is going to. I mean, Giddy's been playing well. He was out today, I believe. Yeah, no Giddy today. So you're looking at other guys to step up. And I know we're not going to talk about JC's favorite player on the Bulls, but you're looking at a team that can play with a bunch of tryhards at the beginning of the season until they meet up one of the big juggernauts, and then they'll get exposed, right? Oh, Giddy is playing. I'm sorry, correction. Giddy's
Bulls are it's 58-60 right now in the third quarter.
Oh, it just started. Yeah. So it started updating. Yeah, Giddy with 12 points and 8 rebounds as usual. He's going to be your number one guy. I know White is out for a couple more weeks, and then he's got to get to basketball shape and all that. That's it's gonna take like a month. And again, I prefer her to get healthy all the way, because I believe he had a calf issue. I believe if you let him get 100% and you start, let's say he plays in January, late December, early January, when the NBA is rolling at that point, you got that'll be the best bet for him. Kevin Hutter, I think he's a good player. I think he's like 6'10". He plays pretty good. He just needs to get rebounds, kind of like that Patrick Williams thing where he's not getting any rebounds. Patrick Williams has 2 rebounds. Woohoo! I don't get it how you're so big and not able to get rebounds. Again, Hutter has 11 points. You got Giddy with 12. Buzella's with 6, with 2 assists and 4 rebounds. He's not gonna get those eye-catching numbers, but he's gonna play an all-around game. He's still young, still make some dumb mistakes. Watching the Bulls game these last 2, it's gonna come around with good coaching. With those bench coaches there, I think they'll get him right. Okoro, who we traded for in the Lonzo Ball trade, has 5 points, 1 assist. Vucevic, it's going to be a triple-double machine, and I think they keep him. To be honest with you, they trade him, yes, but I think they keep him with this team just to be the veteran presence. Excuse me. He has 8 points, 4 assists, and 6 rebounds, so he'll probably end up with 16, 8, and 12. Like he's always gonna be close to that triple double. He's definitely gonna his double double. Trey Jones has been a blessing to have at guard. They got him starting. He's got 7, 4 assists, and 5 rebounds. And yeah, pretty much everyone else is not doing much. I like Trey Jones, but I like Ayo Dosunmu better. And for some reason, they put Ayo Dosunmu to come off the bench, even though Ayo Dosunmu's been with the team a lot longer. So I don't know how just another guy who comes in last year in a trade, I think he was in the Zach LaVine trade, takes your spot. And as a guy who's been on the team, drafted by the team, how do you where's your pride? Where's your pride of being like, hey, this is my spot, my team, and if Trey Jones is just that much better, cool. But for me, I feel like these young guys that we've drafted don't have that killer instinct. I want Ayo Dosunmu to be like, no, I'm going to play a lot better. Kind of like where Kobe White got better every year, to be like, no, I'm going to be the guy. That's what I need from Ayo. I really need that from Ayo. I need that from everyone else on the bench, from Dalen Terry, who is buried at the end of the bench. Javon Carter, buried at the end of the bench. Jalen Smith gets to play a little bit to spell Vucevic, but if Vucevic is rolling, stick with Vuce. And then Noah Sange, he's just nothing.
Yeah, let's be honest. There are only 2 players on this team that to me are off limits. Everyone else, goodbye, see ya. I hope you get traded. I hope you move on. I hope we do not pay you. I do not care. Those 2 players are Buzella's and Giddy. That's it. Everyone else on this team, I do not care about you. You can be gone, and hopefully we can sign some better players. We can go for some max, players. We can.
That's a good joke. That's a really good joke. Because no one signs here. No good player signs here.
I understand that, and you know what? Like I said, if we can open enough salary that we can bring in 2 guys to play with each other that want to play with each other, that would be the best case scenario. But the bottom line is there is nobody on this team that, other than Giddey and Buzelis, make me feel warm and fuzzy that will ever be a good team in the next 2 to 3 years.
Well, Zach LaVine will be available. James Harden, Trae Young, LeBron James, CJ McCollum, all old. These are all old guys.
Yeah.
Chris
I don't
Middleton,
want these guys.
yeah, Porzingis, all old guys. Hartenstein, 27. I don't think we need him, especially for that kind of a price tag. He's probably going to ask like for $40 million a year. Andrew Wiggins, no. Tobias Harris, no. Fred VanVleet, no. Draymond Green, no. Anthony Simmons, I don't think he's worth that type of money. Let's see. John Collins, no. Terry Rozier, the guy who got picked up by the FBI. Yeah, that's not happening. He's getting his full salary, by the way, for the year from Miami.
No, but like the bottom line is like Kobe White, right? Like he is one of those guys that he is good from time to time, but then it's like he'll have 2 weeks where like he disappears. And it's one of those where it's like I like him, but it's one of those where it's like I also don't like him because it's like, dude, I can't trust you to consistently be here and be a guy. Like,
I mean, he is a what is his name?
like he'll score 31 one night and then he'll score 8 the next, and it's just it's mind-boggling. It's
very much Klay Thompson. When he's hot, it's unforgettable. He can hit from anywhere. The rim looks like an ocean, and then like you said, he goes in spells of like 2 weeks where 8 points and can't find the rim. Yeah, I get that. But he's also only 25. Well, not even he's 25. He's going to be 25 at the end of the year.
I know. I guess for me, it's just one of those, like, if I can get some draft picks for him, like for a couple first rounders, it's one of those where like maybe in the draft we can get some studs. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
so you're saying rebuild again? Not with this front office. This front office needs to go at the end of the year or midway through the year. They're saying
we've been saying that for a while. I don't.
They're preaching patience. They need to go, everybody, top to bottom, change the way you do your organization, because you're as bad as the Jets, in my opinion.
Remind me. Who owns the Bulls?
Michael Reinsdorf.
Yeah. Do you really think that's going to happen?
No, the stadium is packed every week, every game. Stadium's packed every game. Just to put a bow, I know because they're live right now, so it's kind of hard to break
like
down.
I said, I mean, Io, like, I know you're a big fan of Io. To me, Io,
I am. I just feel like
same thing. Like, he's way too injury prone, way too whatever. He's never really there to prove to me that he is a guy. Patrick Williams, we know what he is, and we paid him. Why?
Yeah.
And now we can't get rid of him. Nobody wants him.
Nope.
We're stuck with a bad salary. Like, who signed off on that guy to get paid what he got paid? Should have been taken out back in the alley and shot. It is just horrific.
So, yeah, we just signed Giddey, so we have him through the 28-29 season. Patrick Williams, same thing. He's getting paid $18 million all those seasons. He's got to go. A lot of the money comes off the books in 26, 27. So after next year. So this year, everyone is getting paid. After next year, you're losing Vucevic for sure. So you might as well trade him. Zach Collins, $18 million will be off the books. Kevin Hooters, $18 million will be off the books. Kobe White is a free agent. I'm telling you right now, they're going to re-sign him because they're losing so much. You'll still have Okoro, Jalen Smith, and Trey Jones.
So there's the problem, right? Is you're saying like we're definitely going to re-sign Kobe,
yeah,
and it's like at what price? What price would you feel comfortable re-signing him at?
Well, if Patrick Williams, who's dog shit, got $18 million, he's going to get 25. He's gonna get 25 because you're gonna
Do you
lose.
think he's worth 25?
I mean, the numbers are inflated. We're playing with monopoly money, right? It's not coming to my pocket.
But I'm saying, like, would you rather say, hey, you know what, Kobe, we appreciate everything you've done for us, but we're going to take that $25 million and we're going to save it, and we're going to go get a player that we think is a $30 million player instead of a guy.
There's no good free agents after this year coming out of it.
I'm not saying this year. I'm saying, like, put a dog shit team out there for a year. Which, I mean, let's be honest, that the Bulls love doing that. They love putting dog shit teams out there. Might as well, like I said, you put Giddey out there with Buzelis and a bunch of scrubs. You lose for a year, get in that lottery, hopefully get a decent pick, and then you have the salary cap to bring in veteran in, say, 27 and you know, put a team together that way.
No, I hear you. I definitely hear you. The problem is you just signed a free agent who is really, really good. Are you going to waste his years here in Chicago and then bank on 27, 28, 28, 29 when he's on his last 2 years of his contract? And by that time, he's going to have losing taste and wants to be out of here. I mean,
Okay, but at the same time, you just stated, like, right, Vooch is gone after this year.
Right, but there's no direction. We don't know. They're saying patience, have patience. Dude, everyone's coming off the books at the end of the year. So you're either trading everybody as soon as they have value and getting picks and players that are expiring contracts, or building blocks, projects, whatever it may be, because you're pennies on a dollar for Vooch, pennies on a dollar right now because he's hasn't played this season on Kobe White. I would assume the same thing. Dalen Terry, same thing. His contracts are up again. All this stuff is happening in 1 year. What is their plan? You're either going to dog shit the whole team and say, you know what, we're going to blow it up again. But I do not trust this administration with he sits in his high castle, comes out once a year, and then tells us to be patient. Dude, we don't even know who the GM is. I don't think I don't know. Can you point him out? Because I don't know who it is. I'm telling you right now, it's bad. It's really bad when you don't know who the GM is. The president has to come down. Like, this makes no sense to have this administration do another draft. Just like the Bears, I do not trust that man to draft. Just like what happened with Jed with the Cubs. He swung for the fences and got Tucker. Gave away a very high prospect that ended up playing every day for the Astros. He's gone. He's not coming back. Right? He swung and missed because his contract was up at the end of the year. What happened as soon as he got his contract? Before the All-Star break, he made no trades to help the team because his job was safe.
He made a few moves, but it was no splash.
Nothing to win. You took a bunch of White Sox players that we discarded at the end of the year so they can go get some playing time with a playoff team. And one guy that was horrible for us last year, and he went to, what was it, the Nationals or Philly, whoever you traded with, I think it was Nationals. He was horrible, and he was horrible for you guys. Like, you tried to get lightning in a bottle and say, oh, we can fix these projects. No. You should have got guys that were proven winners that get you over the hump. And they didn't do that. That pitching kicked their ass.
Was it Ratledge?
Yeah, I'll pull that up for you.
Can't think of the.
It might have been Ratledge. Yeah, Andrew Kittredge.
Kittredge. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like I said, Kittredge was better than what we had, and then I forget the guy. It was a Palencia that we brought in. So, not to get away from the Bulls, all right, but you know, we're sitting here talking about that. Yeah, like what we have right now, right? Can the Bulls go to the playoffs? Yes.
The play-in.
like right. So they're good enough to do that, but they're not good enough to win. So my opinion is, if we are not good enough to compete and win, then like we have to do something to make this roster better. And the bottom line is we cannot do that with what we have. Vooch, I'm sorry. Look, you know what? You've been decent for us, but you're better served on another team. Goodbye. I'm going to get what I can get and move on. Io, same thing. You know what? I have no ties to Io. I don't think he is that good. I think he is a middle guy that can come in, serve you minutes, get you some points here and there. But in the end all be all, is he a superstar? No.
So,
He is a sixth guy. He is a guy
it comes
that,
off the bench and runs the offense.
right. But is he a superstar like Giddy or Buzelis? No. So that's where I'm at. I'm just at, like, even with Kobe, it's one of those where it's like, what can I get for him? Can I get 2 firsts for
No.
White?
No, you're not.
Okay. What then what do you realistically think we could get for Kobe?
Not much, because he's on his last year. Unless it's like Golden State, who's like, all right, we need another shooter because our shooter went down and we got some money and we can fit him in, at a prorated clip, right? Yeah, Golden State doesn't care about their first round picks. But where's that going to end up? 27 to 32 or 27 to 30, whatever it is in the NBA. So they don't care about those damn draft picks, right? That's what you're going to end up trading to, one of the contenders to put them over, because they need a hot shooter, a little microwave to get hot really quick. Okay, that's what it's going to be. So if you go to a team that sucks and you think they're going to trade for him, no, they're not. They're not. So I don't think there's much trade value, especially him being hurt right now. But you're looking at Vooch again. He is an all-star machine, a triple-double machine, double-double machine. Can definitely help out a contender because he's very offensive-minded. He plays within the team. He can distribute the ball. He's a team player, not a bad guy in the clubhouse. So for a contender, definitely they will look at it. And I guarantee you, he's going to get calls. But he had more value last year when you had 2 years on his contract. So, all right, flipping it over to the ice for the Madhouse on Madison report. The Blackhawks dropped the game against the Kings yesterday. They will play tomorrow, I believe. Yeah, I think they do play tomorrow.
10:28. Yep, tomorrow.
Yep.
Versus
play tomorrow against the Ottawa Senators. So I mean, Blackhawks continue to build, changing the narrative of what they look like. You're seeing a lot faster play, a lot more scoring. It's 2-1 win, 3-2 win, 3-1 loss. I'm not sure how good the Kings are at the moment because they're up and down. But again, you're going to play the Senators, the Jets, and the Oilers in the next 3 games. They're building quietly. There's no big splashes. They're building quietly. Like, oh, we need a defenseman. Cool. We're going to trade somebody. Bye. They're doing very quiet things, and they're looking a lot better. I just feel like this is the team to look out for in about 2 years. Give them 2 years, and they're going to be with Bedard. It's going to look like a monster.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's a good thing because, obviously Bedard is a younger player and, he's gone through quite a bit of losing, and you don't want him to be comfortable in that losing, right? You want him to start playing better and feel successful, feel that he's on a team that has a chance.
Mm-hmm.
However, just like the Bulls, like, I need the Blackhawks to still be at the bottom to get a few more draft picks or players that are of high caliber. That's the problem, is that, like the Bears for years is when you're picking at 17 of 32 picks, you're not getting those top tier talent players. And not only that, you're in that range where the guy may pan out, may not pan out. So, where Bedard was one of those guys that was considered the number 1 pick, the guy, we need to continue getting a few of those guys where, in that 2 to 3 years from now, like it'll be like it was with Kane and Taze, and we'll have a solid foundation of, young guys that have come back in. So it's one of those, like, I'm loving the success that we're having right now. We're 4-3-2,
Mm-hmm.
but it's one of those where it's like, I hope we don't play ourselves out of, like a potential top 10 draft pick, where we could potentially still get a top solid recruit for the team.
Like I said, they got talent. They got Nazar and Donato and Teravayan and Reichel, Bertuzzi, Vlasic, Doc, and then Bedard and Murphy. Like there's talent on there. And
for sure. And again, look, I mean, considering, last year we went to a game, what did they lose? Like 6-2 or something like that to the game we went to?
Yeah, it was bad.
Yeah, it was a bad game. But we're not seeing those scores this year, right? Like we haven't really. I think there was one game that they gave up 5, and I think that was. Let me see if I can go back here.
It was preseason. No, they haven't given up.
The Blues gave up. They gave up 8, or no, they won 8-3.
No, they won.
I'm sorry. The Bruins was 4-3. But again, like we're not seeing like last year. There were plenty of games last year where it was like 5-1, 5-2, 4-1, like where it was just like, where's the defense? Like this is, like I said, so we're keeping it a lot closer than it was last year. It's 3-2, 3-1, 3-2, 2-1, 3-2, 3-1. So like I said, it's one of those where like,
oh, my bad. My bad. Sorry, my phone connected to the Bluetooth.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those where, like I said, like last year, you can see the improvement just in the scores that we're allowing. And we're keeping the games way closer than we did last year. So again, I think that helps Bedard, because, one of the big things was, he's going to be coming up on a contract, and will he stay if the Blackhawks are a losing squad, all these things. And, it's just one of those where we to make progress and show those out there, even like free agents, etc., that the Blackhawks are on the upswing, that we are coming. Yeah. And hockey has a very tough salary cap. So it's one of those where like the rebuilds in hockey usually take longer than everything else, like the NBA, the NFL, etc. So, we're in that upswing now. So like I said, hopefully in the next year or two, we will be back, in playoff contention.
Yeah, I see it. All right, wraps up the Madhouse on Madison report. I always had trouble saying that, and I'm the one that wrote the damn the thing, the script. Finishing off the episode today, we're going to talk about the Chicago Fire, who rallied from 2 goals down to draw 2-2 with Philadelphia in the game 1 of their MLS playoff run, round 1 series. And then, they got more games to go. The Chicago Fire in the playoffs. It's wild. It is wild to say that, because they've been such a losing organization, and now with the new owner, it looks like there's a lot more of urgency to win. You're looking at it was 2-2 as a thing. It looks like I thought they won. Come on, soccer scores. There we go. Here's their schedule. Come on, no pop-ups. Come on. All right, so it's showing up as 2-2. Well, it looks like they lost in 4-2 in penalty shootout. So they'll be playing again on November 1st at SeatGeek Stadium. Any words on Chicago Fire? You're not a soccer guy.
Yeah, no, I am not much of a soccer guy. I love the World Cup mainly because, again, you root for, your nationality, your Team USA, which I mean, Team USA is usually not very good, but I'm Italian, so a lot of times I will root for Team Italy, instead of Team USA. So it's one of those, like, I got a couple buddies that are Argentinian, so they usually are rooting for Argentina.
Yeah.
It's one of those where, like, I love the Olympics. I love anything, when hockey last year, the Four Nations, tournament, I'm all for that. I love where it is a national representation. But yeah, when it comes to soccer, especially, I don't know much about anything when it comes to soccer. Other than, the Wrexham, TV show. Yeah, I don't know nothing. Especially like United States, like I guess we have some good talent now, but the MLS, a lot of the talent is overseas. And if you're a talented player here in the US, you're definitely trying to go overseas.
I mean, you're seeing a lot of the players transition from that just because they want stability and be able to stay home and not travel as much. Obviously, there's multiple seasons. When in the European and Asian teams and whatever, they play multiple seasons, multiple cups. It's a long ride. That's why you get paid so much.
That's why I was kind of like, wait, the Chicago Fire are still playing, and like,
and the Cubs are not. And the Cubs are not.
I was like, shouldn't soccer be over by now? Like,
it usually is. It lasts pretty much the baseball season. I mean, what day is November 1st? What day is November 1st? Because that's the damn day play. And they play. That's Saturday.
Is it?
That is a Saturday.
Halloween is a Friday. Yeah.
Yep. Well, maybe we go to a game. I mean, tickets are $32.
Where do they play?
They're playing at SeatGeek Stadium, so their old stadium out in Bridgeview. So there's not a bad seat in the house.
Hey, I might be into it.
Yeah. What's the weather that day? Something like 40 degrees.
Yeah, if it's 40 degrees, I don't know about that.
Yeah,
just because, like, over the weekend I was feeling kind of froggy myself, so it's one of those where.
Yep, 49 degrees. It's gonna be a cold one.
Oh, I mean, I've done football games and stuff like that, but yeah, with soccer, I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll think about it. The weather may change by then.
Yeah, well, they're coming home. They're down one game. It's a best of three. It's going to be nuts because I love that stadium because it's so small and intimate. There's not a bad seat in the house. Section A, you're standing up the whole time and cheering. It's nuts. It's nuts. Loved it. Love being a supporter of the Chicago Fire. I had season tickets for multiple years. Once they went to Soldier Field,
I've never been, so you know what? We'll discuss it off air and we'll think about it. Because I've never been there. I've never experienced a
Section 8, yeah,
a soccer game here in the States. I don't know if Philadelphia is any good. I don't know if the Fire is any good. Like I said, I'm not a big soccer fan. Like I said, I got people at work that they're United. They're like all the European teams,
right?
Like they're the Arsenal. All the like they are huge soccer fans, and they are watching games at 3 a.m, 4 a.m, and like I said, I am, if it's one of those, like if it's if it's a World Cup, I'm in for it.
Yeah, Olympics and World Cup is usually where I'm a huge soccer fan. I'm like, I'm cheering for I'm cheering for countries, right? And I think that's where I'm at because I'm a casual soccer fan. I'm not watching the Mexican League. I'm not watching the Saudi Arabia League. I'm not watching, the Asian. I'm not doing that. I'm not waking up at 3 and 4 in the morning to watch a soccer game. I don't knock people that do. That's your jam. Go for it. Cool. I think it's awesome that there's bars that will open up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. after closing at 2 a.m. Love that. We have a bar down the street, Cleo's. They do that for us. But yeah, It'll be a fun time. We'll talk off air and we'll see what we'll do that. But go Chicago Fire on Saturday. Go Chicago Bulls this week. Go Blackhawks. And if you're gonna hang out with us for one last time at Output Lounge in Berwyn, 3250 Grove Street. I always want to say Avenue. Or it's gonna be our last time there. Steve Edwards should be making his appearance there. I think he's doing one appearance per location, and that'll be that one there. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of people win prizes. Some people bought some merch. I think I got a couple pictures here. Let's see. Met this lovely couple. They bought a hat. This lovely lady won a shirt. She came in like in the third or fourth quarter and won a shirt. Let's see. This lovely lady as well won a shirt. This lady, she thought about buying a hat, but ended up. I think she was one of the winners, and she wanted to try on the hat. I said she can't win the hat, so she got some socks. I was like, that's not happening. You can't win a hat. Those you got to pay for. So yeah, Steve Edwards is going to be out there. Me, Ivan, Steven. I know JC works Sunday, so he can't go, and Steven usually works. Yeah, I know. Last day there, and then we'll be at Casa Humilde in Forest Park for November. So definitely check us out. We have a lot of fun with the crowd. I'm a socializing, so you can come buy me a shot. We had there was a tequila tasting as well, so we had a bunch of tequila. It was awesome.
Before we cut off, I didn't have a chance. We talked wrestling last week.
Yeah, we did.
But I forgot to bring up a event that happened, and I don't remember if it happened at the end of the week last week or if it was. But one of my favorite tag teams has hung it up, and I just want to say to the Dudley Boys, Team 3D, what a career, amazing. The matches between them, the Hardy Boys, Christian and Edge. I mean, not only that, like Devon get the table, just absolutely iconic. I think that's what's missing right now in the WWE is a solid tag team.
They have multiple solid tag teams. It's just not being used. They have solid tag teams, just not being used. There's not a tag team division where you're like, oh exactly. Man.
But that's my point. It's like when it was the Hardys and Team 3D and Edge and Christian and so many, like they would constantly have, the Rock and Sock connection, where there were different like major stars also doing tag matches. Like I said, I think WWE is really dropping the ball when it comes to the tag team division. Like you said, there's the New Day and then, whatever and blah, blah, blah. But like I said, I think they're really dropping the ball on the tag team division.
Yeah, there's no storylines with the tag team division right now. It's literally like, oh, they're going to have a match. Okay, but why? Where's the why? Why am I being invested in this match besides the acrobatics that they're going to be able to do, which is cool? I'm going to remember those spots, but I'm not going to have an emotional attachment to the match. Right now, there's a lot of stuff going on. Seth Rollins is actually hurt. He had surgery. Jey Uso threw out his brother over the top rope last week to be the number one contender. So this Saturday at Saturday Night Main Event, they'll be fighting for the title. I don't see an outcome coming out of it. They're going to be interrupted by Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They're going to mess that up because they want the championship. They weren't put in the over the top match. They were excluded for beating up some people. So I think that's what they're going to do. They're going to mess it up, and you're going to have to continue that. WWE also dropped a vignette where it was 4 of them actually, where you see just their feet, and they're all walking on the same floor, so you can tell it's the same floor, different feet, different pants. So it looks like another faction will be making a debut very soon. Maybe it's today, maybe it's tonight. I'm not watching Raw right now. I got the football game on, and I got to watch baseball. I have both TVs on in a second. It's I think they're trying to hit a hard reset, especially after losing Seth being one of the major players as being a villain or a heel. I think Cody might be turning slowly. I don't know if they want to do that because they don't have a white meat baby face that's as popular as he is. Like he is kind of like the new John Cena, where he's just selling out merch, kids love him, and he's just a good guy. Yeah. I also hate that they keep burying LA Knight. Like he starts simmering, he starts boiling, and then they bring him back down. They turn off the heat.
Yeah, I mean, I read something that there were like 80,000 dislikes on a YouTube video.
Oh yeah,
that WWE posted for Jey Uso.
Yeah.
So it's one of those, like, the people are trying to tell you, like, you know, and don't get me wrong, Jey was very hot there for a minute.
Yeah.
And like I said, it seems like the people are starting to cool off now that, you know, the storyline is a little messed up, you know. But the bottom line is, again, the reason why I brought it up is because, you know what, Team 3D, Spike Dudley, Devon, and them were one of my favorite tag teams, you know, of that era, along with the Hardy Boys. So the proper send-off for them was to clearly go against the Hardys.
Yep.
One last match. And I mean, you could see it on Bully Ray's face. You know, I mean, he just broke down crying basically because, you know, it's the end of an era. It's the end of the career. You know, I think they said Bully Ray was 34 years in the industry.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a long time.
Yeah. He was a badass, and especially being he had a great TNA run, and that's where he retired with TNA. And you know, the thing right now, TNA and WWE are sharing some talent, which is great. So you had the two premier tag teams that made history have one last match. You have them be able to do it their way, and you know they're already Hall of Famers. So you know that's without any doubt. But you know he's doing LFG. He's doing Serious Radio with Busted Open, and he does a phenomenal job. And I try to listen like to 2 or 3 different episodes a week. I know they're on 24/7 now with all the programming they got, but I try to listen to him at least 2 to 3 times a week because he's got a creative mind that's just wild, and they can use him in WWE to start creating more engaging storylines. And we got to remember, he was brought up by Paul Heyman. So where do you think he learns this psychology? From Paul Heyman.
Yeah. Again, you know, you watch, like, to me, it was the proper send off, right? So now we are, what is it, 3 events away, 4 events away still for John Cena. And it's one of those where it's like, I'm hoping WE took notice of how to send someone off properly, because from the rumors I'm hearing, you know, if John Cena against Gunther is going to be the end all be all,
no,
it's not the proper send off.
No, and it should have been. If you're going to give somebody the send off, it's either got to be, I want it to be a villain, and I want it to be a young kid that's going to be the future of the WWE. That's going to be Dominic Mysterio, and that's going to be Braun Breaker. Those are your 2 major stars that are going to come up. Those are the 2 guys I would like John to have his last match with, because those are the guys that are going to be the face on the marquee going forward for the next 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I like the Breaker idea. Again, I'm not a big Mysterio guy personally. I don't, you know, not that I've watched a lot of his matches, but I just don't feel like his in-ring, like I think it's improved, but again, not that I've watched a lot, but I feel like some of his in-ring is lacking, where like Breaker, you know, like he looks like he gets it, like from a performance standpoint, like his spear, like what he did to Speed in the, was it the Royal Rumble or whatever the hell it was?
Yeah,
I mean, he broke that kid in half. So it's one of those where it's like you watch some of his.
Looks a lot easier to do that against a non-wrestler.
Well, yes.
Guy's like 110 pounds. Come on.
I don't disagree.
Let's
But
be honest here.
it's one of those where I just don't know about. Again, I know Mysterio gets the heat.
Yeah.
And he's very, I guess, non-likable character, if you will, that he just gets the heat. But it's one of those where it's like, I need the performance to match the heat. You know what I mean? Like, if he could turn it on,
he can go
like Eddie Guerrero.
Yes, that's
Like,
where he's
if
at right
he
now.
had the talent of Eddie Guerrero, like, I would absolutely be down for it. But I think he's
need to
lacking a little bit.
I need you to understand he's what, like, technically, he's what, 5 years into the business? You didn't see Eddie Guerrero till he was 20 years into the business. You didn't see Rey Mysterio till he was 15 to 18 years into the business. You got to remember, those guys started when they were 16, wrestling in Mexico and then, all over Texas and all over California. So
I understand that, but I guess my point is, like, he's 5 years into the industry of WWE. He's not 5 years into the indies.
No.
So his level should be progressing exponentially because he is working with the best of the best and getting taught by the best of the best.
And this is why they have him wrestling in Mexico, because WWE bought out AAA, the wrestling company out there. So they got him wrestling out there. And he's also been wrestling in Japan. So WWE is definitely investing in him. And they're probably seeing the same thing you're saying, is like, we need you to tighten up your in-ring stuff, your charisma off the chain. Like, you have Eddie's mannerisms, you have the ability of Rey Mysterio as far as being, athletic, but we need a little bit more ring seasoning. So you're gonna go to AAA and go fight some other guys that do lucha. Then you're gonna go to Japan and try strong style, what they call it. I think it's strong style wrestling. So whatever they call it out there. So they're gonna, he's gonna be a well-rounded guy. He's already good on the mic. He's already good with charisma. He does tributes. He dressed like his dad, his uncle, and Rey Mysterio. He does the outfit, so he's got that attention. He may need to be a little bit more tough love and seasoning in the ring. Yeah. Can he go 30, 40 minutes? Yeah. He's got the stamina for it. So again, he's a heel right now, so he doesn't have to carry the match. He cheats, he gets in and out, he takes a lot of breaks. But when you are the face and the good guy, you're not taking those shortcuts. So will he be able to sustain going forward? So can't disagree with you. They need more seasoning, but I think he's definitely going to be the future of the company. All the way, I've known Dominic since he was a little kid, since the whole Eddie and Rey Mysterio custody battle. That was great. All right, JC, we are at what? We're 90 minutes. I think we're about to approach 90 minutes. I think we're good here. I'm gonna go cut up these clips, maybe take out the dog, take a shower, take pain medication for my back that I just threw out today. It's gonna be a good time.
Old Man River.
Oh yeah, that's what happens. All right, y'all. That is it for today. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everyone who's been subscribing lately. Our numbers are continue to jump, and we really, really thank you for your support. Our listeners, our watchers, thank you through 271. I know we have way more episodes than that, but on a weekly basis, the weekly episodic, it's 271. Thank you to our sponsor, 606 Media, True Chicago Sports Fans. Check us out on social media, TCSF Pod on Twitter, True Chicago Sports Fans on Facebook, True Chicago Sports Fans Podcast on IG. Subscribe on Spotify, YouTube. All the links are out right there. Go ahead and check those out. If you have a topic to talk about or you want to disagree with one of us, hit us up at truechicagosportsfans@gmail.com or come on weekly and get into the chat and we can go back and forth. Lots of people have done that. But thank you, JC, for joining us. Stevie B, hopefully you should be back next Monday. Ivan will be with me this Sunday at Output 3250 Grove Street for the pregame, halftime, and postgame show. So I am Big Z. We'll see you next time for episode 272. And until then, be good to each other for the love of sports.